Good morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is August 10th, 2018. Happy Friday to everyone. Today, I'm going to be taking a break from our regular debunking and exposing of scams across the internet, and we're going to be talking about freedom of speech. It's something that has come up this week in several different areas across the nation, and it's actually something that has come up within this last week with regards to this channel. So I want to be able to talk with you guys about those things, weigh in on them for you so you know where I stand. I'd like to hear where you guys stand on those things. And then I also want to give you some additional announcements and information that I think you will all find interesting and informative. And a lot of the questions that have been asked of me this week, both by email and by the comment section, are going to be answered in this video. So hang in there with me, okay? You're looking at a picture of InfoWars Alex Jones. Most of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with him. Alex Jones is the online conspiracy theorist, and he has his own radio show. He was on YouTube for many, many years until this week he had been stricken down and taken off of the platform, along with off of several other platforms, including Facebook and several others that I understand. Now, I've had a lot of people privately ask me how I feel about this, being that a lot of the things that I debunk have to do with conspiracy theories that are not actually true. I, for one, have actually never said that all conspiracy theories are incorrect. As a matter of fact, the opposite is true. I've made statements many times that there are real conspiracies that need to be looked into and paid attention to a heck of a lot more than the attention that they're getting, because a lot of the people that talk about conspiracies online, where we primarily investigate them, really want to stick to the more sensationalized and dramatic ones because it provides them with a bigger platform for views and more audience. However, there are real conspiracies that need to be investigated. It's not something that this channel does, but it is something that we may look at in the future since they don't seem to be being covered at all. Now, with regards to Alex Jones and how that pertains to him, my personal opinion is that freedom of speech is something that's very important for us to keep. As a matter of fact, there have been times in the past that I've made mention to you guys that even though some of the threats that come into me are horrid, they are things that need to be protected because freedom of speech pertains to all speech. Unfortunately, even hate speech. And although it may be deplorable what's being said at times, not just to me but to others, freedom of speech is something we all need to take very seriously. Now, with regards to Alex Jones, my personal feeling is that I'm sad to see that this has occurred the way that it has. And it's not because I agreed with the majority of what Alex Jones said, although I don't think he was incorrect about everything. I do feel that he sensationalized his channel. I think his ranting brought in people to watch and view for the purpose of drama, and that's something that actually nauseates me. I was not a fan of his. I didn't care much at all for his rhetoric, and I probably never would have tuned in to an actual full episode. However, that does not mean that anybody should have the right to take his rhetoric, no matter how crazy it might be, away in terms of free speech. Now, on the other hand, I do have to look at this as someone who understands what it's like to run a business and to have policies and regulations in terms of agreements within that business. So, for example, Alex chose to use platforms that were going to give him the most visibility with regards to what he was making a statement on. When you're looking at a terms of agreement contract, when you go into doing something like making a video on YouTube, you agree to those terms and conditions. And, there's a reason for those policies, obviously. Unfortunately, when you are using someone else's platform in order to make your statement, you have to continue to abide by those terms and conditions, or they do have the right to remove your content. My understanding is that he was taken down based on a terms and condition violation. And if this is the case, I don't know if there's much that's going to be able to be done. However, I do have to say that in terms of freedom of speech, even someone who chooses the type of rhetoric that I might disagree with in terms of what Alex Jones was saying, the statements he was making, and the way that he was putting it out there in the public. For example, Alex Jones truly was, in my opinion, someone who fear-mongered. If you just take a look back at what he was doing during the broadcast of Y2K, you will see that that was nothing but instilling fear in people. I agree with the freedom of speech. I disagree with the way that he did things. But it matters not whether I disagree. I don't make the rules. And as far as freedom of speech is concerned, it's a true toss-up. I mean, you really have to look at both angles of this. If he violated the terms and conditions of YouTube and Facebook and these other platforms, and it's something that has been notated by them and can be backed up, then I'm not sure that there's going to be a leg to stand on. However, if this truly was about shutting down free speech, no matter whether it was something that was agreed with or not, it's wrong, and it needs to be fought. That's all I'm going to have to say about Alex Jones, but while we are on this subject, I do want to talk about a few questions that I've gotten by email and in the comments section that I'm sure some of you have seen with regards to the First Amendment auditors. With regards to the First Amendment auditors, I've been asked several times whether I agree, whether or not it's an important and valuable thing to have going on out there. Here is my personal opinion, and I'd like to hear yours in the comment section. There are First Amendment auditors that I feel are doing a valuable service. I think it's important that we do take a look at what our rights are, and we try to exercise them from time to time to ensure that there is not tyranny going on, especially in the circles of law enforcement and our courts. And if it is, that it's exposed. But I'm also a firm believer that freedom of speech gives you freedom, but not a license to attack, not a license to attempt to try to bait others into confrontation in order to make it look tyrannical. And I feel that in the First Amendment circles, there are several that instead of taking the freedom of speech right as it is meant and as what it should be, which is a responsibility, they push the edge of the envelope to actually bullying and baiting, and in an attempt to try to get a dramatic video that can be posted online for others to be able to view, laugh at, and become irate about. There are plenty of situations that are real that need to be dealt with. As I said, freedom of speech, in my personal opinion, needs to be handled as a right that allows us to have the responsibility to treat it properly. It doesn't give you the license to abuse others. Moving on to more about freedom of speech, one of the things that I have on my channel, because I did not feel when I started this channel that it was all that important that there was a rating system, being that what I was doing did not allow for a fair one. In other words, anytime that you expose someone who is committing fraud or defrauding others, especially for monetary reasons, all right, you're not going to get a fair assessment when you're looking at likes and dislikes on your videos. There are going to be groups that gang together and decide that they want to try to take videos down. There are going to be people that simply disagree with what you're saying because of what they've heard from these groups and thumb your videos down. And likewise, there's going to be people that thumb your videos up because they do understand what it is that you're attempting to try to do. I decided to avoid the possibility of there being an additional argument about likes and dislikes, that I would make my likes and dislikes private. And the reason that I have done that is because this way it takes that completely off of the platform. There's absolutely no reason in the world why we need to be paying attention to a thumbs up or a thumbs down, especially when in reality, it doesn't really do what people think it does with regards to the videos. Let me explain. This is a shout out to all of those who have actually been trolling my channel. I don't like to call people trolls. I think it's rude, and I'm not going to do that at this point. Exactly. But trolling is trolling. And there has been excessive trolling that's been going on the Virgo Triad channel and other channels that are supportive of and running their own anti-scam channels. And we have figured out where the majority are coming from. You are looking at a website called YT Monster. It is a website that is supposed to assist in increasing views and subscribers to new YouTube channels. However, if you follow me over here to where it says paid services, you're going to see something that is probably going to be rather shocking. And that is that you can pay for YouTube views, you can pay for likes, you can pay for subscribers, and you can pay for favorites, but you also can pay for dislikes. And look, all you have to do is link any video you want right here in this section, and then put the number of dislikes out of the ones that you've paid for right here for this video to be disliked. See, it's not always a fair equation. So for example, if I am exposing Mickey Mouse, and Mickey gets mad at me for exposing him as someone who is defrauding his customers, then Mickey Mouse can go over here to the YouTube dislike section, and he can go ahead and put in the link to that video that I made about him, and he can pay $20 and put 1,000 dislikes on there. It doesn't only do that. It brings down the watch time, changes the analytics of everything that I have put forth for people to view, and in his hopes, he hopes that it will eventually either start striking down videos through community strikes because there's so many dislikes, or, even worse, get my channel demonetized or taken down. Unfortunately, Mickey is incorrect, and here's the reason why. Dislikes actually do not bring the ranking of a video down. They actually bring the ranking of the video up. So, even though my watch time may be going down because of dislikes, because clearly they don't watch the video, they just go on it to dislike it, you're actually assisting me in raising the rating of my video up on the YouTube platform, meaning that as many dislikes as I get is the same as many likes as I get in terms of the video showing up under recommended. So, for those of you trolling my channel that have decided to pay for dislikes or start disliking because you're in a contract with these people that you're getting credits from in order to get your own channel, extra subscribers, etc., thank you. Keep doing it, because all you're doing is putting my videos out there in a way that people can see them even more than they were before. I want to talk to you about one other thing with YouTube Monster, and that is that there is a free service, meaning that you can offer to go and dislike videos, share videos, like videos, subscribe to channels, and comment on videos. And as long as you do that, you earn credits towards whatever you want to use them for. So myself and several other channels that I've spoken to this week have this happening. Comments that virtually pertain to nothing, with the exception of an insult, that are going on to our videos that we work very hard to make. Now, my point of mentioning this is that not only is it cheating for the party that is doing it, and not only is it malicious in intent, but it actually is infringing upon our freedom of speech. See, you have the right to speak freely when you are attempting to try to explain your scam, but that gives us the right to debunk your scam and expose you. That's called freedom of speech. All speech should be protected. But, as I said, For those of you that are constantly putting information up here to have videos thumbed down, you're only helping those of us that you're doing it to. I have one sad announcement to make, and that is that Crazy Train Friday will be skipped this week, due to the fact that there was an attempt to strike down last week's Crazy Train Friday based on the fact that it was being considered cyberbullying. Now, that's a really interesting concept when you consider that the comments that were in Crazy Train Friday were comments that were directed straight at me and my channel. The actual bullying was happening to me, and I was simply exposing it. But as you can see, people have different opinions when it comes to free speech. So, Crazy Train Friday, unfortunately, is a victim of censorship this week, in addition to several others this week. Crazy Train Friday will be back, but we are skipping it for today. To all of those that look forward to Crazy Train Friday, and I know there are many of you, along with myself, I apologize for the delay. I wanted to take a moment to quickly thank everyone who has donated so far to the virgotriad.com GoFundMe account. We're doing quite well 5 days in, I think, anyway, personally. For those of you that would like more information with regards to what this is about, it's an important endeavor. The virgotriad.com website will be a platform that provides a debunking index and search engine optimization that will allow for real facts to come up alongside with all of the falsified facts that we have running rampant on the internet right now. It's an important step in making sure that we keep freedom of speech alive. In addition, you need to take a look at the ad at the very end of this video for more information with regards to what this GoFundMe is about. And I look very much forward to seeing this campaign grow so that we can move further into assisting others to not fall for these scam artist scams, and for them to be able to have real, verifiable, and hard, cold fact information, not just hearsay or pseudo-legal information that's cherry-picked. A couple of announcements for next week. One thing is we have a very important person that's going to be doing an interview with us. It is a former April Lejeune client. She is coming forward. She is very angry, but very tenacious in wanting to bring this scam down. So she will be on the show next week. We also have Kevin from Paranormal Encyclopedia, who is just an incredibly intelligent and humorous individual. I very much look forward to him being on the show. Now, I don't have dates or days for you guys yet on either one of these two. We are still setting it up, but it will be next week for both of them. Kevin has his own platform here on YouTube called Paranormal Encyclopedia. I will link it in the description so you guys can take a look at it. He also is on several other platforms, I understand. Kevin is just an absolute pleasure to talk to, and I think you guys will really enjoy what the subject line is here. We are going to be talking about the anatomy of a scam artist, and it's going to be important, and it's going to be interesting. And the main reason why is because we are in two totally different lines of work. However, I think you guys will probably find that the anatomy of a scam artist is pretty close to the same, even though we both have to deal with them on a regular basis. I'm also attempting at this point to get another person who has a good platform here on YouTube on as a guest called Atrexus Lives, and we're trying to find a time that we can get together, so I can't promise you that it's going to be next week, but I am hoping that we will be able to join together very soon here and talk about the Under the Sovereign Citizen book that I have written, because Artie does an awful lot of investigating on sovereign citizens and those that fall under that label's umbrella, what they believe and don't believe and why they believe those things. And it's, I think, going to be a very interesting interview once we can get that going too. All right, everyone, please stay tuned for the short little announcement and ad that I have put up on a few videos now for those of you that are interested in the GoFundMe and what that's all about. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday. Take care. Hi, everyone. Virgo here. Just a quick announcement. For those of you that don't know, for the last several months I've been working on a book called Under the Sovereign Umbrella, an urgent look at domestic terror. I've had a lot of help writing this 250-page book. The FBI, along with 2 domestic terror experts, have assisted in making sure that this book is up to date and most helpful to those that are interested in what's happening in the fringe and why so many of the scams are on the internet right now. It's very valuable for you to have to share with friends and family, and it comes with a bonus. The bonus is a year's worth of me collecting packages by people who have been ripped off by scam artists, and those packages will be available to you in the bonus along with the book. I have put up a GoFundMe account for the Virgo Triad channel, as it currently is under attack by those it has exposed. The GoFundMe is to assist in putting up VirgoTriad.com's platform of free speech, real facts when searched for, and a debunking index that will allow people to find out real facts behind the scams. For those of you that are willing to donate $50 or more, Under the Sovereign Umbrella, an urgent look at domestic terror, along with the bonus package, will be provided to you as of September 1st on its release free of charge. Anything will help. $1 or $100, it matters not. Let's stick together and stop these scammers from taking over our internet and taking away our free speech. Please search for the link in the description below and visit the GoFundMe page. If you can't help now, that's okay. Just share. Thanks, you guys.